So I just finished setting up this ground blind, and how it's set up is I got my trail camera right over here that I don't need to, add any pressure to the deer to check, because I'll be checking it from the other side, and my ground blind there. And I brushed it in a little bit. It'll be out here for a couple weeks. But anyway, I'm going to be entering from the back, not walking ever through the food plot unless I'm going to get my arrow or going to tag a deer. But that being said, I can access from the back. We've got a nice fence row here that's going to hide my entrance and exit, as well as a field on the other side. So it's going to be a low impact as far as this food plot goes, coming and going. I added the black fabric inside to allow me to blacken out the blind so I can get out the back door without spooking any of the deer in the food plot. If you're hunting a food plot and you keep kicking the deer off of it when you go to leave or when you're entering it, it's not going to be very effective very long, at least for a mature animal. So I try to go as low impact as I can, and I'm going to have 3 safe wind directions. If it's coming from the north, if it's coming from the south, and if it's going from the west, I'm not going to be detected wind-wise either. So they're not going to hear me coming in, they're not going to see me coming in or leaving, as long as I'm particular about the wind direction, I'll go undetected in this spot all season long, and you could hunt it almost every day in the right conditions without the deer ever knowing it. I planted some brassicas in here a couple weeks ago, and today I just threw down some winter rye and some fertilizer, and they're calling for rain tomorrow. So it's going to be about a ½ acre, and it's going to set up for some real low impact hunting. Now with these ground blinds, ways you can improve them. Well, one thing is I put some black fabric up here on the roof, and what I'm going to do with that is, if I have deer in the food plot and it's time to leave and I didn't want to harvest that deer, instead of just trying to get out of here and scaring them away, I can pull down this black fabric up here, and then what I can do is go out the back door. Now this back door has a zipper, and I'm not a big fan of that. I don't want to make any noise, so I also put black fabric here. And then what I can do after I close the front windows is open this up and go right out my little access trail into this field. And it actually even drops down a little bit here, so I'll be able to use the blind, and the screening cover that I have will go out of the blind here, and I'll show you. There's this fence row right here, and we can see the blind here, and so I'm going to be able to slip out and head down here using this as my cover and the ground blind. I might have to crouch down a little bit, but if I crouch a little bit, you can see all of a sudden I've disappeared, and deer on the other side aren't going to see me. So as long as the wind is in my favor, this is going to set up for a great low impact setup. Here you can see my trail camera, and what I like about this setup is I don't need to enter into the food plot in order to check my trail camera. Close to the ground blind, so I can limit the impact I have by just checking it on days when I'm going to hunt my food plot out of this ground blind anyway. So this is going to be a real low impact setup, and ½ acre food plot. Stuff should be in bow range, and looking forward to spending a little time in it.